Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I hope you had an amazing Easter holiday if you celebrated yesterday. And today it's Easter Monday here in the UK, so it's still a bit of a holiday for us here in the UK, but I don't know if anybody else celebrates that or takes time out on Easter Monday or not. Whichever way, I hope you've had an amazing Easter weekend. Before I get going with what we're actually going to talk about today, I must tell those that know, because not everybody's in the know. But in case you are in the know, Remove the Blocks is closing in a few hours' time. In fact, 6 hours or just under 6 hours' time. Everything I'm going to share here today, the practical strategies, the practical ideas, will not help you if there's a part of you that is trapped, that is blocked, that is stuck. If there are ideas and energy and craziness causing you to kind of, you're meant for something more, and yet you can't seem to get there. It's like we did the whole 3-day Pray, Affirm, Receive series last week. And I went through the 3-step process to manifest the money you need to live in your purpose. And there's so many of y'all that I speak to who are desiring deeply to live a life of purpose. You know you're called to make a difference, to change lives, to create generational wealth, to wake up in the morning feeling fulfilled and free to do what you want to do whenever you want to do it. And as much as you've tried very hard to buy into the rhetoric of every single person around you who tells you that you cannot have what you want, that you want too much, that you are too much, as much as you've tried to buy into their rhetoric, you can't completely buy into it. There's a part of you that just feels as though you're meant for something more. But you can't seem to break through to that something more. You need to remove the blocks, okay? And for that, I would strongly urge you to go over to rosemarynonnynight.com/remove blocks. And let us clarify what your life's purpose is, and also get rid of anything that is likely to get in the way of you taking the practical action and practical steps to manifest the money, the resources you need to live in your purpose. You are meant for something more. But some of y'all already know, although you may be fighting against it because everybody around you wants you to be so practical. And yeah, we are practical people in this community. We work hard, but you've been working hard for years and you're not getting where you want to go. There are other things at play and you need to handle them. That's what Remove the Blocks is all about. It's about expanding your wealth consciousness. It's about dissolving the things that would get in the way of you fully being all you are meant to be. So go look at it before it closes. This will be the lowest it will be ever. Okay, so it's rosemarynonnynight.com/remove blocks. And I know you're not supposed to start these things with talking about something that's on offer. But you know what? When you know that you have something, that if people will use it, it will literally transform their lives, how can you not tell them about it? So I tell you, go over to rosemarynonnynight.com/remove blocks. Do not delay. Let's get the internal work sorted out so that you can move forward into doing the practical things that will get you the life that you want. I mean, we're talking about, how to get clients online, how to grow your business to 5 to 10K months with ease, with simplicity, with speed. And yeah, I'm going to give you the practical things that need to be considered in order for this to become a reality in your life. But if you do not get this internal stuff sorted out, you will just keep chasing your tail, or you will settle for a life that is far less than what you're capable of. It's like the great thing about being with family sometimes is just a reminder at times that I do think somewhat differently. I can't always put words to what I'm thinking, but I come away with thoughts, I come away with ideas, I come away with this recognition that the way we ambitious spiritual people in this community would like to live is not necessarily the normal way that people live. So this masterclass is for us, the ones that people consider to be too much, the ones that people sometimes consider to be somewhat deluded in our desire to create a life based on what it is that we want to do. Because if you're anything like I am, whatever, I used to be all about trying. Well, you know what? I was never completely submissive to the ways of everyone around me, but there was a part of me that desperately wanted to be accepted, desperately wanted to be understood, even though I was rebelling because I could never fully give up myself. Maybe it's because I'm second born, I don't know. But whatever it is, there was a strong sense of identity and things of identity within myself that I could not allow people to completely destroy. But I felt so guilty a lot of the time because I was not able to fully submit to some of the ideas that most people had around me. I found I wanted to marry for love. It was not considered normal in my circle to marry for love. Okay. Now, thankfully, I think things are changing a heck of a lot. But there was a tendency to believe that you were supposed to marry for practicality. You were supposed to, give up yourself in favor of your family and what they wanted. Your career was chosen by your family. Everything about you was ultimately dictated by your parents, by the people around you, by what the world told you was success was supposed to look like. And there was a part of me that could not fully give into this. And thankfully, I've always known the divine. But even that got mixed up with all kinds of ideas of what even someone, Christian girl is supposed to be like, what rules Christians are supposed to follow. And I couldn't fully submit to any of it. I desperately wanted the divine, and I desperately wanted to be all of me. And that's what some of you are like. And this masterclass is for you. Yes, I'm going to talk about practical things that you need to have in place. But please, if you're here just because, I just want to see how I can make a little bit of money, this isn't for you. This is for someone who knows you've done the making a little bit of money, doing things that you're not actually meant to be doing. And you know how it feels inside. It feels empty. It feels unfulfilling. It feels yuck. And you've been searching for a way to feel fulfilled. Maybe you tried it with parenting. You became a parent, and now you tried to be all about your children. I did that. I was going to be super mother. I was going to be, just be all about my children, and that's it. But I couldn't. I couldn't, because that wasn't me. Yes, I love my kids. Love my princesses. Yes, they were a huge part of my evolution. If not for my children, I'd probably still be stuck being a pharmacist, trying to make myself conform to the box in which the world had told me I needed to live in order to be successful. But thankfully, I gave birth to my children. And yeah, they did the whole bankruptcy and all of that stuff. So all of that is like you get to the point finally where you can no longer continue to deny who you are in favor of what others expect from you. This masterclass is for you. I want to give you ideas of what is possible when you submit to yourself, when you surrender, not even submit, surrender to who you are, rather than continually trying to submit and not succeeding, submitting to what everybody else wants from you, not succeeding, feeling guilty because you can't, but then still not really knowing what to do, because all you've ever known is how to fit into the box that others have placed you within. Even though you didn't like it, even though you didn't want to be in that box, you wanted to be free. But freedom looked impossible. Freedom looked like delusion, because we are very practical people. Absolutely we are. We know we have bills to pay, we have children to look after, we have all of that stuff. But we can't also be satisfied with just living within this box of what success is supposed to look like. You want to make money doing what you love to do. And yeah, that can almost sound like, oh, you want to make money doing what you love. Just like when people, I had family members ages and ages ago laughing at me for, oh, she married because she loved him. And it's like, isn't that what people are supposed to do? But you start to get to the point when you're surrounded in a certain way of thinking, you start to feel stupid for wanting to create a life that feels good to you. Because you're not supposed to think like that. You're supposed to just do whatever is necessary to pay the bills, to be responsible, to be grown up. This is just, you can't be childish anymore. And that's actually, even in terms of marrying my husband, that was what some people were saying to me. Oh, that's childish to think that you have to be in love in order to get married. It's like, are you kidding me? Now I know for some of y'all, you're listening to this and it's like, you come from a world where, of course you're in love to be married to someone. But that's not the world I came from. But for you, it's things like, you want to make money doing what you love, do you? You want to make money doing what you love. You want to turn your passion into profits. And then people will make fun of you for thinking that. Even you have made fun of yourself, or maybe even made fun of other people for even thinking that they could live life based on their purpose. It's like that dream you have when you're in your, early 20s. But you come into your 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, life has battered you a few times. You start to think it's not possible to make money doing what I love. And you buy into the stories, except there's a part of you, if this masterclass is for you, there's a part of you that recognizes, I can no longer pretend to be anything other than who I am. And maybe you're not fully there, but there's a hankering, there's a hunger, there's an itchiness inside of you. You wake up in the morning, you feel already like, oh my God, you have to do that life again. You are that determined, ambitious spiritual person who, yes, you are willing to work hard, absolutely, and you're working hard right now. But you're beginning to recognize, or you are fully recognizing. In fact, if you're here, I want you to be that person that is fully recognizing that you cannot continue to live this less than life. You can't. This average existence, that's not who you are meant to be. You finally are ready to admit, I want to make money transforming lives in a way that feels good to me. I have a message inside of me. I have overcome some stuff and I want to help other people overcome it. I want to create a life where I have so much money, I do not have to worry about money anymore. I want to feel safe around money. I want to wake up living life my way. It is not selfish for me to think these thoughts. I'm meant for this. I am meant for more. If that's you, and there's a part of you that feels like, is it even possible? Is it even possible for people like me to live a life where I get to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, with who I want to do it, and get paid really well for it, so I'm free to do more of what I want to do, when I want to do it, with whoever I want to do it? Is it possible? Yes, it is. But there will be a transition. Let me be clear. There will be a transition. It will not always feel good, the transition. This is a faith walk. You will sometimes feel deluded and stupid for thinking that you can create a life where you get to do what you want to do. But this is why most people do not do it. Because in the end, the familiar devil seems so much better than the unfamiliar heaven. The unfamiliar dream feels like just a dream, just one of those wishful thinking things that people do. And you can buy into that if you want to. The thing is, you are one with the divine. You are a powerful creator. You can keep telling yourself it's some kind of dream. It's not possible for me, in which case you get to keep the familiar devil. That's up to you. But I can tell you this, it is absolutely possible for you to create the life that you want, but it will demand courage. And getting clear about what it is that you would like. And then having the faith and the courage to stay on path until it manifests in your life. It's fascinating to me how, when I became a pharmacist, it almost took me, I used to say, it took me the first 25 years of my life, 25 years of education, and maybe the 25 whole years of education, but you start school at 5 all the way up till I think I was about 23, 24, 25, whenever, when I finally was that pharmacist. And then I still went on to do postgraduate studies. So it felt like it took me that whole 20 God knows what years to become a fully qualified pharmacist that was now worthy of being paid a heck of a lot of money. But then when it came to my business, I wanted it all to work in like 6 days. Basically. And that's some of y'all. You want it all to work in 6 days because you have so much more faith for the life that others have paved the path for and told you to walk in than you do for you. You don't have enough faith in yourself to believe that you can create a life where you are doing only what you want to do. And again, I can talk about this stuff. I can tell you that it's possible. In the end, you are the one that is going to have to finally decide. It is possible for me, and I will not quit until I create the life that I want, because this is your one life. And yeah, you can choose to stay with the familiar devil, the familiar life where you're living unfulfilled, but tell yourself you have no choice in the matter because you're grown up now and that's what you have to do. Or you can stay in the tension of the transition into a life where you are actually living to the fullness of your potential and getting paid well to do what you want. It will feel scary. But as I said, it took me 25 years to become a pharmacist. Now, I'm not saying it's going to take you 25 years to become whatever it is you want to be, but it will take you some time. And in that period of time, you're going to sometimes feel scared. It was easier for me in that 25 years because many had walked that path before me. It seemed so practical. Lots of pharmacists in the world. It seemed that's just what we do. When I started working out business side of things, it wasn't something people had done, especially being a coach, being a healer, being a spiritual teacher, all of that stuff. It's not normal. Almost if you were selling light bulbs, it would be better because light bulbs, again, lots of people have sold light bulbs. Because even me, when I made my transition out of being a pharmacist, I started with real estate because that, again, felt more practical. But the things that I really wanted to do seemed so wishy-washy and out there. How can I bring it to life? It was thankfully working with coaches who were just like me, but had somehow taken this wishy-washy thing and made it real. Then I started to realize if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. But I still had to have enough faith in myself to hold my ground, even on the days when it felt like, Rosemary, is this thing ever going to work in the way that you think it should? Is it ever going to do what you want it to do? Are you just deceiving yourself? And those days will come for you too. Will you quit? Will you go back to the one you're familiar with, even though you're familiarly hating it, but at least it's familiar and it gives you money every 2 weeks or at the end of every month? So it feels like, well, I have bills to pay, I have children, I have this and that, so let's just do that. Or will you, and nobody's asking you to quit all of that immediately, but start to see it as funding your transition into the life you actually want, rather than that's where you're stuck forever. Are you willing to make your transition? Because if you are, then this masterclass is for you. It will give you exactly what you need, as well as I would strongly urge you to get a copy of my book, the Get Paid to Transform Lives book. Okay, the link is around this video, or the link is in my bio if you're listening to me from Instagram. Get the book, because it will take you step by step and break it all down. I'm going to talk you through stuff here, but there's only so much I can say in another 20 minutes ultimately. But if this, what I'm saying resonates, listen, make notes, get the book, use it, come into the community, come and work with me. Because for me, I know the difference that working with coaches made. If I tried to do this on my own when I was coming from being a pharmacist, it would have been impossible. And I dabbled at business all on my own, trying to do all the free stuff and read the free books and tried to do it on my own. And I couldn't make it real, because the moment things got hard, felt like, well, you know what, I'm a pharmacist. Why am I even struggling with this? I'll just stay there. I didn't say that consciously, but my actions showed that when it came down to it, I was willing to continually do the life that I didn't want and continue to give energy to the life I didn't really want. But I just didn't have enough courage to give energy to the life I did want, because it felt so out there. It wasn't until I started working with people and seeing, as I said, regular people like me doing this, that I suddenly realized, if they can do it, why the heck not me? Why the heck not me? And so on those dark days, that kept me going, as well as leaning into the divine. It kept me going. Because there will be dark days. Sorry, there will be. There will be. But you have what it takes to create the life that you want, if you dare to. What do you need? Let's talk about the things you need to go get those clients online and to make that, 5 to 10K every month doing what you are called, born, meant to do. Where's my thing here? Because I went off course completely. I do want you to know that your vision is your permission, and I want you to know that you're capable of your calling. There's no mistake about the vision inside of you, okay? So if you have this idea of what you would like to do, there is a way to do it. Let's talk about these things. Okay, sorry, because I've gone off path here completely. Let me look for where I need to be right now. Take a breath with me here. 7 things, according to this, that you need. According to this. First and foremost, as I already said, you have to make the commitment. You have to make that internal commitment within yourself that you will stay the course, that you will take what seems so wishy-washy, what seems way out there, and that you will make it real. Because it's you. You're the only one that can do this. Divine can support you and will support you. Coaches can support you. But in the end, it's going to come down to a decision you make inside of you that I am going to make money doing what I love. I am going to make money whilst transforming lives. That is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to stay the course until I do it. There can't be plan B. Oh, well, I'll try it for a little bit and then I'll see. And then if it doesn't work, then I'll just go back to my old life. I always find that quite stupid and crazy, but we all do this, and I did this a lot, so no judgment from me. But this whole idea of, well, I'll try something for a few weeks, maybe, if somebody's particularly determined, I'll try something for a few weeks. If it doesn't quite work, I'll just go back to the life that I know I hate. I'll go back to the life that I know I don't like, but at least it's predictable. At least I know the money's coming in. At least I know. It's like, are you kidding me? So you know, absolutely certain that life you do not like, but you're going to go and keep giving energy to it. Whereas you won't even give enough time or energy or focus to the life you do want. If you have the plan B, understand that the plan B will work. Plan A will not work whilst you have plan B. Once you've made that commitment inside of you, that come hell or high water, I am bringing my business idea to life. I am going to make money doing what I am called, born, meant to do. I'm going to figure it out. Because everything is figure-outable. I think, is it Marie Folio or something says that, or has a book called that? But everything is figure-outable. If you're decided that you're going to. So first thing is, are you actually committed to bringing this stuff to life? If you have, let's look at the practical things. You need a niche. Do you know what the problem is that you're helping people with? You need to get clear on what that problem is, okay? How are you helping people? Do you know who your person is? Can you clearly and simply describe exactly how you help them? What is your niche? You need to know the answers to these questions. What is the problem that you're helping people with? Get clear on this. I understand that when you've overcome certain things, or you have a particular healing strategy or a healing methodology, there's a tendency to think I can help every single person. I get it. You can. However, you don't have the resources to help every single person right now, or to reach every single person right now. So if you can help everyone, you can choose a specific someone that you can help. So in choosing that someone, you speak to that someone and you'll attract people like that someone. Okay? Rather than trying, I can help you all with everything. And then people are left thinking, yeah, but what exactly can you help me with? Okay? So what is the one problem that you're helping people with? Who is the person you're helping with it? Can you clearly, simply describe how you can help them so that it's very clear to them, yes, I want this. No, I do not want this. If you're wishy-washy with, I just kind of help people grow, or I just help people transform lives, it's no. We want to get very clear. What is the transformation people can expect from working with you? If someone followed exactly what you're telling them to do, what is the transformation they can expect? What is the problem that you're solving? Come on, get specific about this stuff. Get specific about this stuff. Have it clear in your mind. That's the first thing. Second thing, now that you know the problem, the person, and you can clearly define what it is that you're doing to help people. Next thing is package it up and give it a price. Package and price. I would strongly urge people, if you're not at your first 6 figures or at least first 5K month doing this work, build your business from the top down, as in get one-on-one clients. Get one-on-one clients and charge them, good chunk of change, ultimately. Get one-on-one clients to begin with so that you have money coming into the business that you can then reinvest to reach more people. Then you can build out a bigger business with lower cost stuff and all that if you want to. But to start with, build it from top down, as in one-on-one clients that you have a big chunk of change coming in every time you sign somebody up, okay? Have 1 or 2 packages. You do not need more than that. Do not spend lots of time trying to come up with all of this and call it. You might look at my business with all the different programs I have and all of this and the other, and you want to start there. No, I didn't start there, okay? I didn't start there, okay? And frankly, I wish somebody told me what I'm telling you right now. Let me just focus on one package even, because one package, 12 people take you to 6 figures in a year. One package, 12 people can take you to 6 figures in a year. Really, really, if you would just focus. So, okay, build your business from top down. So have a package and a price that is good, and one-on-one people, one package is fine. One package is fine, as in one thing where you're working with people over maybe an 8-week period or 12-week period. And that's it. You sign people up for that. That's it. That's all you're doing. And then believe in what you're offering. Believe in it, because you need to back it up so that you can go out into the marketplace and really, really talk about this thing that you're talking about so that people are bought into it. You need to be bought into it, okay? That's number 2 here, package and price. And the choice is completely yours. As I said, one-on-one, I would suggest coaching, consulting, healing, teaching, that kind of a thing. You can do VIP sessions, so you can do one-off longer sessions where you're going to really handle something once and for all in that one session. If you believe that you have a methodology that can really help people really transform something in one session. Personally, I prefer packages, as in over a week or over a few weeks, because that gives me time, not only because in a healing thing, not only do you want to heal whatever they're presenting with right now, but you want to make sure they don't go back into their regular life doing exactly the same thing that caused the problem in the first place, okay? So sometimes going beyond just the one session is absolutely useful to the client. Because if not, you heal this thing once, but then they go back home and do exactly the same thing that caused the problem in the first place. The next thing they know, the same problem is back. And it's like, did they help me? Did they not help me? Yes, you did help them, but you didn't tell them how to prevent it coming back. Because you just solved the symptoms. You didn't actually handle the internal issues. Okay? So, because you can have one-off sessions. I do even one-off sessions myself, but I'm always telling people, listen, this is the next steps for you. Whether somebody chooses to do it or not is up to you. However, I would say to you, when you're getting going, have a package over a few weeks, unless you are absolutely certain that you can help transform lives in one thing like that, okay? Okay, so that's number 2 there, package and price. The next thing is you want to get visible in the marketplace. So you want to get your offer out there. You want to get that package out there. So what platform do you want to use to reach your people? Decide on a platform, as in, start with social media, because everybody, pardon me, everybody's on social media. Now, some people say to me they don't really want to do all those social media. You don't have to. You can do email stuff, okay? You can do email stuff as long as you're willing whichever way, you're going to need to be willing to fund advertising and get people onto a mailing list, and from the mailing list then start inviting people to work with you, which you're going to do anyway, even if you're doing social media anyway. But people who I don't want to use social media and that, I get it. Personally, if not for business, the chances are I may or may not actually be on social media, but I use it because I want to reach as many people as possible, and they're on social media. And I have a lot of words, so I love to share my words, basically, with people. So you choose. What platform do you want to use to reach people? So where are people hanging out? You need to be there, speaking in their language, talking about issues that they're already thinking about, using their words, so that when they hear you speaking, they realize, because if you can tell them even better than they can what is going on with them, then they're more likely to believe that you can help them. And the chances are you can help them, okay? If you've overcome something, if you've learned, if you have current skills or knowledge around a particular subject, the chances are you can help people. You just need to communicate it to them in a way that they can hear it. Sometimes we're talking at a level above the people we're speaking to, okay? So having gone through something, that sometimes it's like, okay, losing weight. Sometimes it's not actually, the simple maths of it is have less calories going in than coming out, okay? So that's the maths of it. But if it was as simple as the maths of it, everybody would be slim, sexy, strong, and healthy. But they're not. Because as you will know, if you're into that side of things, there's emotional eating, emotional craziness going on. Now, if you come to someone who is particularly focused on, I want to lose 1 dress size before my wedding or 2 dress sizes before my wedding, and you are busy talking about emotional eating and emotional mindset blocks and blah, 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 they don't freaking care. Okay? They don't care. So, yeah, you know what they need, but it's not what they want. They want to know how to lose 2 dress sizes before their wedding. You need to talk about losing 2 dress sizes before the wedding. Now, some spiritual people get kind of antsy about talking about the main actual issues that people are thinking about because they want to talk about higher level issues. We want to talk about mindset stuff, and we know it, not just weight loss, mindset stuff. Just talk about what people want. When they come to work with you, you can tell them, yes, I can help you drop your 2 dress sizes before your wedding if we also handle what's going on in your mind. Because if we don't handle what's going on in your mind, I can't help you. Because, and so in some ways, people don't care about the methodology of getting them what they want. You need to talk about what they want. Most people, like always think about Reiki people or people that read tarot cards and all of this. It's like you're talking about that stuff, but nobody cares about that stuff. But some people might. If somebody really knows what Reiki is about, they might care about Reiki. But for the most part, most people are just thinking, what is it going to do for me? What is my actual result? So you need to be talking about the result they're thinking about, not, I'll use my Reiki to help you. Yeah, it's like, okay, how? What does that mean? Can you see what I'm saying? Talk in terms of the people you are trying to reach. Give them time to become as enlightened as you. Okay? So speak in their language. Daily create content about the issues they are aware of having. Okay? Continually be on that platform that you've chosen. Use all of the platform. Find where the people already are. Don't just use your own like Facebook page or something, because if nobody's on your Facebook page and you're busy putting lots of content on there, nobody's seeing it. So are they in Facebook groups? Are they in on other pages? Where are people? Go be there sharing your content and then invite them over to your social media platform. So do things like blog posts and articles on blog sites that people are reading, if there's still those existing, and there's still some big blogs out there, or Medium, places like Medium where you can write long form posts if you're into writing articles and things like that, or even offline publications where you can put your long form posts and things. You can write for magazines that you know your people are likely to be reading. You can do videos, you can do live streams, you can do shorter social media posts. Go be in groups, as I've already said. Do webinars, use advertising. Don't be scared of advertising. Use advertising as well to get your message out there. Go networking, do speaking engagements, get interviewed on podcasts. Be out there communicating what it is that you want to help people with, okay? That way you start to be seen in the marketplace. And once you start to be seen in the marketplace, the next step, I think it's number 4 here, is that you now start inviting people to your world. So first, it could be your social media platform. So it could be your Facebook page or your LinkedIn page or whatever platform you're using, your profile. But I would always encourage you very, very strongly to have an email list. To have an email list that you are grabbing people off social media onto the email list. At the moment, anyway, email still generates lots of sales. Even to me, more than social media. Now, some people are social media gods, okay? I don't consider myself to be some kind of social media god. So therefore, I use my email list a heck of a lot more than I do. I'll make more sales on email than I do on social media. And that's fine. If you discover as you start putting social media content out there that you're a social media god, you might make lots of sales on social media, but I'd still say to you, build your mailing list. Of course, if you're making sales of that, then you're getting people's email addresses. That becomes a mailing list, and it's even quite a lucrative list because it's people that have bought from you that come onto your list. So that is a way of doing it. But I would always try and get people onto my mailing list as quickly as possible. Okay. So invite people onto your mailing list. As you go out there, you're communicating, you're putting your content out there, you're being where people are, you're inviting them to your social media profiles. You're also inviting them to have some kind of free giveaway. So for instance, again, using the example of dropping 2 dress sizes before your wedding, maybe that could be the name of your free giveaway. How to, or 7 steps or 5 steps to drop in 2 dress sizes before your wedding. Very clear, very, very clear. If someone puts their hand up, it's because they want to drop 2 sizes before their wedding, or at least they want to drop 2 dress sizes for some reason or the other, okay? Which is the kind of person you want to attract. So you have a free giveaway with a title that speaks just to the people that you want to reach. Now, some people sign up just because they're curious. That's up to them. But for the most part, you're going to get people who are interested in the title. So I would always go with a title that is quite clear, telling people, this is what this is about. Do you want this? If you do, come on it. Get this. Give me your email address. I will send it to you. Okay? So then you have a landing page where people sign up for it. They get added to your mailing list. They get sent an email telling them about or telling them where to get the free giveaway. You now have them on your email list. That once you created this little funnel here, you're doing all of your content is pointing people to getting this free giveaway. Your advertising pointing people to get this free giveaway. So you're continually growing that email list. I like to call this capturing people into your world. As soon as you even have one person on that email list, the next thing you want to do is email them, asking them. If you're not making the first 5K to 10K a month yet, then I would email them to get on the phone with you. Forget about sales pages and trying to sell little offers, this and that. For right now, get on the phone with people. Get on the phone with people. As I said earlier, you want to build that business from top down. Get on the phone with people. Start creating sales. Start asking people, what do you want? What do you think is getting in the way? This is what I think I can do to help you. Are you interested? Okay, let's go. Okay? And that's kind of it. So emailing them, asking them to get on the phone with you, and continually doing that until you have enough people coming in to work, or as many people as you want to be working with one-on-one. And then you can start building out some of the group programs and mini home study this and a home study the other, or books or whatever. But to start with, build from top down. Get one-on-one clients that pay you a big chunk so that you have money coming into the business as soon as possible. Okay? But every day, in some way, be inviting people to get on the phone with you. And when you're getting people on the phone, make the offer, unless it's somebody that you really don't think you would like to work with, or you really don't think that their problem is what you can help solve. In which case, don't make the offer. But for the most part, if someone gets all the way through the process and gets on the phone with you, then make the offer. Make the offer to work with them, okay? And don't feel squeamish about this. Because again, like I said earlier, if you know this, you have something that can help people. And I know there's going to be a certain amount of self-doubt and all of that stuff. Well, work it out, okay? Because ultimately, if you have something that you know can help people, don't hold back from telling them about it in as many different ways as you possibly can. So don't be squeamish about selling. Be very upfront about it. Be out there shouting about how you can help this person and help that person, and tell them, and this is how much it costs. Don't be afraid to put a price on helping people. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. It's just a swap of energy. Okay? Don't wait thinking that they should be attracted to you, because that's sometimes what spiritual people do. Oh, if I just show up in social media and just talk about interesting things, people will like me enough that they'll know what they should buy from me, and they'll just send money my way. They won't. They won't. You need to be very clear telling people what it is that you want them to do. They don't know. They don't know what you're here for. They don't know what you're offering. So unless you tell them the next step to take, they're going to be taking no step. They'll enjoy it, like what you're saying, and that'll be the end of it. Never see you again. See selling as a form of service. Okay? Telling people very clearly how you can help them, what they need to do next. Make it very clear to them, so that people can take the next step if they want to, okay? If they want to. Now, the next thing after all of this is you just need to do this daily. So you just need to be consistent, and you need to be courageous. If you're transitioning out of doing life the way you've always done it, there is going to be a need to be courageous, because it's scary to try something different, especially if for the last, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, you've been living a certain way, and everybody around you expects you to fit into this certain box, and now you're suddenly deciding you're going to try and do something different, and you're not satisfied with the way life is, the way it is. There's going to be lots of people, for goodness sake, even partners might be like, what are you saying? What are you saying? That you're not happy with the life you have with me? Well, it's not really about that at all. But you're trying to transition into more of who you are. People can be offended. People can think you're being crazy. You can think you're being crazy, for goodness sake, ultimately. And yet, with courage, you stay in that uncomfortable place until it becomes comfortable. Because it will become comfortable finally. It's just like learning anything new. You're transitioning out of the old way of doing things. It is going to feel uncomfortable. Do not let that be the reason that you get to the end of your life and you've never really done what you were here, born, meant to do. Please do not keep buying into other people's standards of what success looks like when it doesn't feel good to you. Just because every single person you know thinks in a certain way doesn't mean that you have to keep thinking that way. Particularly when you already know that you don't even really agree with them. But because you're the only one in this mass of people who think in a certain way, you can start feeling crazy. And I said this all at the beginning. But I'm just it's being brought into my attention about how it's so easy, or it feels easier to just go along to get along. But this is your one life. Have the courage to get the life you actually want whilst you are still alive, for goodness sake. Have the courage to go after the life you want. Stop being so concerned about what people will think of you that you refuse to live your life. And don't you dare cloak it in spiritualese. Oh, it's lack of alignment, or I don't want to be too pushy, or, I'm being practical. I have to be a responsible adult, or whatever. And so you make it sound logical. Listen, doubt always sounds logical. Doubt always sounds sensible. Doubt always sounds like common sense. It's only when you're lying in bed with nobody around you, listening to yourself if you dare, and you feel that discomfort, that knowing that you are literally betraying yourself just because you want to be accepted by those around you. Then you can't, most people learn to live with it. But for us in this community, you can't. You can't. It will eat you alive. Some of y'all get sick because you're trying to pretend that you can be happy with a life you do not like. And I know I'm being whatever. And some of y'all are like, no, not me. Okay, fine. But I'm speaking to those who are done with pretending that you can continue to live a life you do not want. So anyway, coming back to the practical things here, practical and internal things here. Have you decided inside of you that you will live life to the fullness of your potential? Have you given up the idea of plan B and decided you are going to make your transition to the life you actually want? And listen, I'm not telling you what that life looks like, because for some of you, it could look like a full-time business. But for some of you, it could look like carrying on with the work that you're doing, but doing some kind of side hustle. For some of you, it could be who knows what. But it's up to you to decide what it is. So I'm not here to give you some kind of, this is the only way to do things. No, I'm talking through, this specific kind of strategy to bring a particular kind of business to life. But how you choose to do it, it's up to you. So there's the only way to do it is to take this giant leap. And unless you do the giant leap, then you're not good enough. No. It's just making a decision to live your life to the best of your ability and not pretending that you can be happy with less, or trying to force yourself to fit into a box that doesn't fit you. And you continually try and make yourself fit. Oh, wake up. I know it takes courage to truly live to the fullness of your potential, but come on, it's 2024 now. How many more years? Because for some of y'all, you've been listening to me for at least a decade, and you're still living the stupid life that you know you're not meant for. Come on, wake up. Wake up. So yes, have you decided to wake up? If you haven't even made the decision, let's not even bother listening to any of the rest I'm saying here. Do you have a package? Do you know the problem you're helping people to solve? Have you priced it well? Because yes, we want to make money doing what we love, but purpose alone will not pay bills. Okay, so I'm not here promoting some kind of, yes, I'm just going to live in my purpose, but have no strategy behind it, because that won't work either. Okay, so we have to be very action-oriented and kind of practical-minded spiritual people. Okay, So yes, you decide how you're going to help people, but then we're going to put a strategy behind that. Have you priced that offer well? Okay. Are you being visible in the marketplace? Are you growing your audience every single day? Are you selling daily? Are you being consistent? Daily, consistent. And are you being courageous? Because you're not the only one that feels afraid. You're not the only one that feels afraid, man. We are people who are seeking to do things that most of the people around us have just given up on and just think it's just fallacy and a scam and a dream. So it takes courage to actually fully own that, you know what, I do want to make money doing what I love. It takes courage. You do have the courage. It's will you lean into the divine, know that you are completely loved, and get out there knowing that you are safe. This is faith, man. It's not enough just go to your religious organization, sing a few songs, put your hands in the air, shout a few prayers, and then come back into the regular world and pretend like, yeah, faith, but I've got to be real, I've got to be practical. Nonsense! Okay, so are you willing to be courageous? Courageous enough to go get the life that you want? So looking at those questions that I've asked you, are you willing? Because the truth of the matter is that business growth itself, it's simple, it's easy, swift. However, we human beings, we're not simple, we're complicated, we have lots of stuff going on. But I want to remind you, your vision is your permission. There's no mistake about that vision inside of you. It was planted inside of you by the divine because you are exactly the person to bring it to life if you dare. You are very capable of it if you dare. You are the authority in your life. The divine is never going to force you to live in your purpose. It's up to you to decide. I'm going to clarify what it is and get out there and make money whilst living in my purpose. There's going to be all kinds of obstacles. I've talked about the fears and the doubts, and you're worried that what people think of you. And for a lot of people, that's actually more important than them living in their own purpose. It cannot be the case for us. Okay. Some of you will feel like because you're a spiritual person and you're so nice and good-hearted that you should just only target people who are broken, who don't really want to change, and you want to really try and change them. And that will almost break you when you're doing that, literally. And some of y'all have tried to build businesses around people who are not actually looking to transform their lives. They just like you. They just like what you have to say. You make them feel kind of good, but it doesn't actually cause them to transform anything, because you're literally targeting people who have no intention of changing anything. In which case, and you're telling yourself that that's what you're called to do. You're not. It's a choice you are making because you think it makes you a nice person. You're more concerned about being a nice person than you are about building a successful business doing what you love. You need to figure that stuff out, my love. You think that purpose alone pays the bills, because some people finally get to the point where I'm going to live in my purpose, and that's it. They don't put a strategy out there. They don't really build a business structure. They just kind of have this vague idea that now that they've decided, having battled their internal world enough to decide finally to come out into the marketplace, that now people should just throw money at them, and then wonder why nobody does. Nobody does. Or you might be coming from you might be a therapist or whatever, and there's a tendency sometimes for particularly therapists to not really know how to promote or want to promote. There's an idea inside of you that it's somehow bad to promote yourself and blah, 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 who knows what. Please, if you're going to live in your purpose, understanding you need to put a structure behind your business. The business is not going to grow by itself. You are the authority. You are the one that grows that business. Okay? You and the divine together create a successful business, but you need to play your part. You need to play your part. It's not enough just to pray, and hope. Strategy is necessary. Okay? Some of y'all, you're saying you're following intuition. But really, what you're doing is when it feels good or when it feels easy, when it's not too scary, then you follow intuition. But when you sense that you're maybe being asked to do something scary, like I might be saying stuff to you that is making you afraid right now. The idea of going out there and putting yourself on social media might be like, oh my God, people will actually think that I'm crazy. And that controls you more, and then you tell yourself, oh, it's because I'm not feeling guided to do this. I don't feel aligned with it. There's sometimes when that's true, but for a lot of times I have to call my clients out on this and say, is this really an alignment issue, or is it actually a fear issue? Let's be real. You can't just follow the parts of intuition that feel really easy to do. You are going to be stretched. I've said this many times. You are going to be stretched. But the person you become in creating a business that makes 5 to 10K every single month, that person you will be so proud of. To have built a business doing what you love rather than just, because yeah, you can go to a job, you know, at the beginning of my business, I could just return to pharmacy and I'd make that money. But to become the girl who makes money doing what I love to do, the stuff I'd wanted to do since I was a child, that I finally gave myself permission to do, instead of listening to people saying you can't make money doing that. That's impractical. Of course, that's childish. How can you do that? And finally, the person I became that was able to hear all those crazy voices and carry on anyway, I'm proud of this girl. I'm proud, and you will be proud of who you have become, to become someone who makes 5 to 10K doing what you love rather than just any old thing. That you become someone who is, nobody can buy you anymore because you know who you are. You know what you're capable of. No longer is money your boss. You become the boss over money. You determine how much you bring in because you master it. You'll be so proud of yourself for doing that, my love. But it takes courage. It does take courage, no doubt. You have to stop paying attention to everybody else's agenda for you and start paying attention to your own. And that sometimes you will feel selfish, and to begin with, you'll even feel guilty about this. And so you'll think that because you feel guilty, that must mean you're doing something bad. No, honey, it doesn't mean that at all. Guilt is a completely useless emotion, one. And usually you feel guilty because you're going against your programming. The question is, who programmed you? Who programmed you? Is it someone who has a vested interest in keeping you doing what you were doing? So of course you'll feel guilty if you go against it. But that doesn't actually mean that you're justified or that the guilt is justified. It just means that you've been programmed wrong. You need to change your programming. That's what Remove the Blocks is about. So if you, again, a few more hours before Remove the Blocks closes, you best come join in. Okay? Stop with the whole no time, no money, no support, blah, 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 blah. Everybody needs me. My parents need me. This person needs me. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is your life. When you are serious, you will find a way. Everybody's busy. Everybody, nobody, hardly anyone starts building a business because they have so much money in the bank that they thought, you know what? I'll build a business. You know what? I'm so rich that I'll build a business. Basically, hey, shorties, that intuition bit hit me. Ouch and amen. Thank you. You're so welcome. Basically, nobody, hardly anyone. Okay, I know that maybe some people had so much money they decided to build a business. For most of us, we did not have money. That's why we started a business. We wanted to do something else with our life, and we didn't want money to control what we did and when we did it and all of that stuff. And so, yeah, you started when you had no money. So using the excuse of, I don't have money, that's why I can't start a business, is silly. There's always a way. There's always a step you can take. Always, 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 unless you decide to shut yourself down by saying something about, no money, I don't have no money, I don't have no time, I don't have no... You can keep saying that forever, and that will always be the case. Or recognize that you're going to have to build a business, or you're going to have to build the life you want in the middle of the life you do not want, which is already quite busy. Yes, it is. And still, somehow, you're going to use that same 24 hours that other people have to carve out the life you want. You can do that. You can. You can. But again, as I said, it will be uncomfortable. But you do lots of hard things, honey. You're not, you're not weak. So let's not make weak excuses. It's time to step up. It's time to step up. Stop worrying so much what people think about you. Stop giving in to doubt. Stop thinking the divine doesn't support you because you're trying to use your gifts to make money. The divine did not give you a gift or plant a gift within you, then say you had to be destitute in order to use it. Come on, seriously. Well, sometimes when you think about what you're thinking about the divine, is that love? Really? If the divine is love, and then some of the things you're thinking about the divine, man, is like, seriously, is that actually love? Really? So really think about what you're thinking about instead of just accepting nonsense just because somebody told you that must be the truth of it. No. And stop comparing yourself to other people. Start where you are. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable at times. I say this and I say this and I say this because I don't want you to be, you already feel uncomfortable anyway, and you've already gone through hard times and you've overcome. So what if there's a little bit of discomfort as you step into the actual life you want? Some of you are in chronic pain anyway right now, doing things you do not want to do and telling yourself you have to. Whereas if you just allowed yourself for a season, yeah, it'll be, it's like an acute pain for a little bit, and then you break through and it's not quite so painful anymore because you know what to expect. But don't allow the need to be in the comfort zone, the need to be comfortable, be the thing that makes you get to the end of your life and wonder, what did I even do with my life? Too many people ask that question. Too many people ask that question, and sometimes they're not justified because they've done lots and they're just feeling self-pity or whatever. But for a lot of people, it's because they actually haven't done what they're actually supposed to be doing with their life. That's why they're asking that question. Don't be that person. Don't give in to self-pity. Don't give in to being jaded. Yeah, life can sometimes throw some horrible, hard stuff at you. And so don't use that as a reason to think everybody's out to get you. You can't trust anybody. Everything is a scam. Oh, I tried that before and it didn't work for me. And therefore, anybody trying to tell me that must mean that it never worked for me. Nonsense. I understand that life can sometimes feel yuck. And I understand that it can sometimes feel like there are people out there trying to do horrible things to you. But that isn't everybody. And that's also not a reason for you to then decide that I'm going to stay stuck in a life I don't want because I don't want anybody to scam me and I can't trust anybody and I'm scared that this and I've tried everything before and it never worked for me. And it's always a lie. It's not true. If you're still alive, you haven't tried everything. So, okay. And the whole overgiving thing, thinking, oh, I just don't have time because I have to give to this person, give to that person. Honey, that is one of the biggest killers of people's dreams. Do not allow this to continue to stop you. You are meant for more. Will you allow yourself to create the more? The only problem is that some of these things that I mentioned here, you won't even realize that they're happening to you. You actually think that the way you think is the only way to think. It's only because I'm kind of saying this to you and something is resonating with you that you might find yourself thinking, maybe there's something about what she's saying. If you think that, it is because there is something about what I'm saying that the divine is trying to get through to you. Because there's never any mistake about you guys listening to me speak to you. It's because you've been asking for help. And the divine is trying to get the help to you, but you may not be paying all that much attention, except you're drawn to things like this. But then it's time to take the next step. For some of you, as I've already said, it's to join me and remove the blocks. You have about 5 hours to join me in Remove the Blocks. It's rosemarynonnyknight.com/remove blocks. rosemarynonnyknight.com/remove blocks. You have 5 hours to get in at this particular investment rate. Join in because you need to get rid of the things that are getting in your way. And if it's not that for you, for some of y'all, it is actually let's get that business going. Get the book then. The book, if you're on Instagram, it's the Get Paid to Transform Lives book. Get it. It's in the link in my bio. If you're anywhere else, the chances are the link is around this video. Now, for everyone in this community, I believe you're going to need to do those two things. Remove the blocks as well as work with me to get your business off the ground. But whichever way, do something now. Do not keep waiting, procrastinating, I'm in an ahhing. Oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. This is your freaking life. This is your life. Stop wasting time. Stop allowing other people's agendas for you to take over from your own agenda for yourself. It's time to break through. It's time to transform your own life. It's time for you to get very clear about what your purpose is. Build a business around it and start making 5 to 10K, doing what you are born, loved, meant to do. So come on. Get the book. The link is in my bio. Get Paid to Transform Lives. Or join me in Remove the Blocks. Again, only 5 hours left. Then the doors close. Next time it comes, it's gonna go. The price is going up. Okay? Join me. Join me. And if there's anything you're not sure of, send me a question. Ask me a question. Well, send me a message. Please don't put anything down here because especially on Instagram, particularly on Instagram, only on Instagram, don't put anything there because send me an actual DM because otherwise I don't know how you're supposed to get the messages that people write when you're doing a live stream. That could be something about my technical knowledge, but thankfully you do not have to be a tech genius in order to succeed. So, but yes, if you're ready and you're done with messing around, I would suggest you listen to this again and you join me and Remove the Blocks. Let's do this 8 weeks together and get the book. Get Paid to Transform Lives. It's in the link in my bio. The link is around the video if you're anywhere else listening to me. Until the next time, my loves. It's been such a pleasure sharing this with you. Go forth and prosper. It's a new quarter. New quarter today. Okay? Do not let 2024 disappear. And next thing we're talking 2025. You know how much more quickly time keeps flying as you get older. Do not let time continue to escape you. It's time to live in your purpose. It's time to manifest the money, the resources you need to live in your purpose. It's time to build that business, to do what you love. It's time. Okay? Until the next time, share this with someone else. Much amazing love. Bye-bye.